Boris Johnson is still the British Prime Minister. This is News Review from BBC Learning English. I'm Neil.
And I'm Sian, and we are back in the studio.
So, Boris Johnson was, and Boris Johnson still is the British Prime Minister. What's going on?
I know, it's confusing, but stick with us.
Yes, and don't forget, it's really important to test yourself on the vocabulary you learn, and there's a quiz on our website at bbclearningenglish.com.
Okay. MPs from Boris Johnson's political party have voted on whether he should resign. About 60% of Conservative MPs voted for Johnson to stay, meaning 40% of his own MPs have lost confidence in him. The vote came after a report which showed that lots of COVID lockdown rules were broken by officials working with the Prime Minister. Johnson himself was fined by the police.
You've been looking at the headlines, Sian. What's the vocabulary?
Okay, so we have Partygate, Dead Man Walking, and Draw a Line Under.
This is News Review from BBC Learning English. So now let's have a look at our first headline.
Okay, this one's from Forbes. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson survives confidence vote after Partygate scandal.
So we're looking at Partygate. Now this is a word that exists just for this situation. It was invented for this story.
Yeah, but there's a formula, isn't there?
There is, yes. And it goes back to the 1970s in America, a political scandal. The president resigned. It was called Watergate.
And for some reason, the word gate has become a suffix which we add to say that there's a scandal about something. So Partygate is a scandal about a party.
Yeah, that's right. And have you got another example? There are plenty.
So recently, Will Smith slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars, and that became known as Slapgate.
Absolutely. Okay, let's look at that again. Let's have a look at our next headline.
This one's from the Huffington Post. Analysis. Boris Johnson is now a dead man walking.
So we're looking at dead man walking. That's a strange expression.
It is, but we're not talking literally here. The writer of this article thinks that Boris Johnson doesn't have a political future. He thinks he's going to lose his job, not die. So this expression is about people's futures, isn't it?
That's right, and it's from prison language originally. A person waiting to be executed, to be killed for the crime they committed, was said to be a dead man walking. Not literally here. Can you tell us how we use it?
So nowadays you could say, for example, a football manager whose team has been losing over and over again, one more game or one more defeat and they will be fired.
Now that manager is a dead man walking. Okay, let's have a look at that one more time. Let's have a look at our next headline, please.
This one's from the BBC. Time to draw a line under Partygate, Boris Johnson tells Cabinet.
Well, there's that word Partygate again, but here we are looking at the expression draw a line under, which means that something has finished. It's time to stop thinking about it.
Yes, exactly. So Boris Johnson has decided Partygate is over, it's finished, and people should stop talking about it. Although others may disagree with him.
Yeah, okay. So, Sian, I used to argue with my kids every night about bedtime, and I decided just to stop and to move on from it. Can I say I drew a line under it?
Not really, Neil, because we use this more for official, it's more official language, more formal. So in the context of work or politicians use it a lot. Here you could say, we've decided to move on, let's get over it instead.
Okay, let's have a look at that again. So we had Partygate. Any scandal, just add gate to the end.
Dead man walking describes a person whose current situation is going to end.
And draw a line under something. Stop talking about it. Move on.
But before you move on, don't forget there's a quiz on our website and app, so go to bbclearningenglish.com.
Thanks for joining us, and goodbye.
Goodbye.